gist actually requires us saying an opening prayer because it's a lot. You know, when Jesus said that judgment will start from his house. Exactly. Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Millennial Chronicles. If you're new here, I talk about lifestyle, branding, and career. You guys, thank you for showing me love in the last video I dropped, the one about the travel tips on traveling. Thank you so much. And I saw the comments as well that I could have included the different places that I visited when I traveled, the exact amount spent, and all of that details. I'm so sorry. I would, I've taken note of that, and I'll ensure that in other videos I, give as much details as I possibly can. Anyways, you guys, hope people are good though. I just found out that the new name for our president is Tipping. Ha! That's so funny. But anyways, the gist for today is about church art. I'm sure everyone can relate. So, recently, someone actually told me that she's the reason she stopped being committed to a particular stuff that we're doing together, right? And even though it wasn't exactly like like a church program or something, he reminded me of the fact that these are also reasons why some people actually say they want to leave the church. And sometimes we think that it's just when we say the church, people think it's just the leaders, the pastorate. It could be something your fellow member did to you, your HOD did to you, your, something that happened within the confines of the church, actually, and that could actually get you angry enough to say you want to leave the church. Disclaimer, please. I'm treating cough, so my voice might not be exactly clear, but I'm sure it will be audible enough for you to listen. So I personally experienced church art in like recent times. Like it happened like literally like a few weeks ago or less than. I don't want to be exactly accurate so that people will not be able to guess. And it made me feel like maybe there are other people that experience it. And thank God, because of my own personal conviction, I mean, I'm not trying to say this to boast, but maybe where I am right now, I don't think that there's anything someone can do to me that will say, I don't think so. And I don't want to say never because, never say never. But I don't think that right now there's anything someone can do to me that will make me want to leave the church. I don't know. Maybe there's something someone can do to me that will want to make me say, I don't love God again, because I've come to understanding that the best of man is still a man, right? And people will always falter. But there's something that bothers me actually. Yes, I know that people might not stay long in a particular place of worship forever, but as much as possible, it should not be said that it's because of you someone is making that decision to leave. Right. And I know that, some people will say that, well, maybe it's time for them to leave the place. But it should not be that it's on your account. A fellow believer that is supposed to still be in the faith is leaving the household of faith and probably even doubting their relationship with God. And yes, you might say that, it's because the person is not convinced enough. But to be honest, most people experience Christ through the lives of other people. Right? That is their first point of coming to know Christ. Jesus Christ himself is not going to come down here on earth, for people to see and know that there is, that's Christ. And so for me, it's important that one of the major reasons, and for me, my major pain point when I had that personal experience it was lack of empathy. And that's something I see that a lot of churches today, young generation churches, we lack. There is that lack of empathy. Like, we don't show genuine care. And I want to put that question to us. Is lack of empathy or care enough reason for you to say you want to leave a church? For me, I would say yes, it's enough reason for someone to start deciding, whether I want to belong to this place. Because speaking from a position of a worker, for instance, I'm a worker, right? Yes, I on my own decided that I want to serve God. I want to give the best of my time to God. But what are the things that I enjoy as being a worker, right? Is it just when my leader calls me in church, please, we need this done. I'm up, I'm at their beck and call, I serve God. Yes, of course, my service is to God. But I also help these people meet their deliverables. At the very least, what I expect is show of care, show of concern. Like, it's absurd that things have to get to a really bad state for people to now show genuine care. I don't think that someone needs to lose their life, or they need to be, on the sick bed, or they need to have left the church for us to even remember that they exist, and then we start doing last minute show of care and show of concern. Growing up, back in the days, your pastor even knows where you live. The leaders of the church, they know where you live. They actually care about you. Like, you can know that if I have something doing, my pastor is going to show up. Like, somebody in church is going to represent. You know that when you're going through troubling times, you actually can open up to them, and they would, pray alongside with you. But today, I feel like, I don't know, like, I know that the call of being leaders, and now when I'm talking about not just the pastorate, even like the leaders in church, right? Like, if you're an executive in whatever regard, it's a high calling, right? You've been called to high responsibility, and so whom much is given, much is expected. Because it's very important that people know that when my back is against the wall, my church is going to be there. You know how some people carry their church on their head? Like, it's like their home, their family. But that sense of belonging for some people is no longer there again. I'm sure some people can relate to what I'm saying, and some people probably have personal experiences. And I would really like you guys to comment and share if you can in the comment section. Because people don't have that sense of personal belonging anymore. You cannot say, oh, I'm going through this, and your church will show up for you. Especially speaking from the point of view of a worker. Because those are the reasons, those are the benefits that you enjoy as a worker. So imagine if that you're not a worker, you're not enjoying that benefit. How much more someone that is just a regular church member, right? How do you even know that if you have issues, they will be there for you? Do you get? And it's something that we really need to talk about. And beyond even like show of care, show of empathy, there are other reasons that people also have that they want to leave the church. Sometimes it might be maybe issue of doctrinal issues. That's also something some people struggle with. Some people might have been abused emotionally, verbally, one way or the other, in church, and they are so pained. And then sometimes they even go and report these things, but nothing is done because the person who even did it to them is someone in a more senior position, right? And so nothing is done about it, and they just pack it. I feel like, and then when I'm even saying we, everything also boils down to all of us. There's one day that someone gave me feedback, one guy in church. I just used to see him I smile and I greet him. And he says that, that he likes how I smile and how I just greet him, that it makes him feel seen. For some people, that's all they need. You don't even necessarily need to have a long conversation with them. Genuinely smiling at people, even as a worker in church, saying hello. And then you can go the step further to even say, how are you doing? When someone is not in church, do you even notice to check on them to say, oh, I noticed you were not in church. Hope you're fine. Hope you're good. Even if you see someone in church, sometimes just like take an extra mile to, show genuine care. You will be shocked that the moment you're showing someone that you care for them, as time goes on, they might feel led to open up with whatever it is they're struggling with. But when that communication gap is not even there, when it feels like the leaders are up here and the workers or the members are down here, that gap is there. You don't see like any middle ground, and then it becomes an issue. Like, there are a lot of reasons why people would want to leave church, but as a younger generation, I feel like we can do better. We've seen the things our parents did in that regards when it comes to showing empathy, caring for their fellow church member, whether the person is a worker or not. Our parents could go the extra mile. Like, there are times that you spend such a long time in church on Sundays because your parents have gone visiting other people, and then they'll come back to church to pick you, and they'll have to compensate, by maybe buying you snack or something just to apologize to you. You could see that genuine show of care, right? And it's not because it's convenience. Like I said, sacrifice. You've been called to a higher calling. So you have to stand up to the responsibility, whether you're a worker, whether you're a leader, even as a member. We all belong to the household of faith. And it's supposed to be like a family gathering, right? And then what do you do to your family members? You show them genuine love. You show them genuine care. You don't wait till someone is visibly crying before you know their odds. That's they're your family. I mean, if someone is your family member, you should know them. Right, that's what it means. So it's not until someone is now visibly hurt before you can notice. It means that you probably were not paying attention. And then even when issues are being reported, it's important that justice is established, right? So that people know, they know that what this is what you stand for as a church. This is what you stand for as a leader. You don't sweep matters under the carpet and then people feel like, oh, anything goes. Even if you get us, nothing is going to happen. If there's injustice everywhere in the world, it should not be inside the house of God. Like, situations like that should be very minimal. Like, it should not even happen. Even if it should happen, the reports of such should be very minimal, because as much as possible, we want people to know that it's different inside here, right? As believers, it's different when we gather together. Like, justice can prevail. People can air their opinion and they will be aired, right? Or issues will be resolved amicably. And if someone is found wanting of an offense, they should be punished and it should be known to others so that it serves as an example for others to follow. And then even the person that reported is not victimized, but the person even feels better that, oh, okay, I trust the system in place here, that, you know, they listen and justice is established. So you guys, I don't want to talk too much, but I've heard like quite a lot of stories. And I mean, like I said, I use my personal example, my personal experience as an example. You know, I was badly hurt. It was very painful, but maybe because I've come to a position right now that, you know, whatever happens, right, I don't think it's reason enough for me to live, except if, I mean, there are other circumstances, or maybe if it is God telling me, oh, it's time to leave. But, you know, not everybody might come to that understanding. People are very fragile with their emotions. People are dealing with different things. So I just want to hear what you guys think about church hurt. Have you experienced it? Do you know anyone that has experienced it? Do you think that there are better ways that, you know, this can be resolved? I know that it's not easy as well, because a shepherd, a leader, has so many sheep that, you know, that is under his care. It's a call of high responsibility, like I earlier said. But that's why we have other leaders in position as well that are like maybe head of department. That's why you have the welfare. That's why you have a lot of other key positions in place, just to pick up, you know, from wherever it is that the lead person probably cannot, you know, take over. But anyways, don't let me bore you guys so much. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. As usual, please like, comment, share, subscribe, most especially, please. Thank you. See you on the next episode. Bye.